And now the news. The government of the Virgin Islands has prioritized efforts to curtail incidents of child abuse and neglect while promoting the rights of children in keeping with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. On 1st October 2014, BVI was one of 3 Caribbean countries to sign a protocol for the prevention, reporting, investigation, and management of child abuse and neglect. The territory led the way once more with a series of training sessions from February 2nd to the 6th to sensitize key stakeholders on the application of various aspects of the protocol. Addressing a ceremony to mark the start of the one-week training sessions on Monday, Minister for Health and Social Development Ronnie Skelton said, since 2010, incidents of child sexual abuse in the BVI has been rising and requires corrective action.
Ladies and gentlemen, global statistics from international research have shown the correlation between child maltreatment and the many social ills facing societies today. However, this morning I would like to focus on a disturbing local trend. While our statistics on physical, sexual, emotional abuse and neglect have fluctuated over the years, we have noticed that the overall numbers over the past 2 years have been steadily increasing. Of particular concern to us is the fact that since 2010, the number of sexual abuse cases that has been the leading type of abuse in the territory. This local and regional trend has resulted in a regional response with the Bridgetown Declaration and Agenda for Action. Over the past several months, we have had some success with our participation in one of the initiatives of this plan, the Break the Silence campaign. We have seen an increase of incidents reporting. However, any case of child abuse is one too many.
The week-long training involved religious and youth-based organizations, social services, health, media, police, and legal practitioners. The sessions were held in collaboration with the Department for International Development and United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. Lisa McLean Trotman is Communications Development Specialist at UNICEF. She urged BVI media workers to help limit incidents of child abuse through accurate and ethical standards in reporting.
But I often say if one child is abused in a country, is one child too many, right? So your reporting could either desensitize them, help reinforce negative stereotypes. Oh, people from that community or from that culture, they're promiscuous. That's how they think, reinforce perhaps stereotypes. It can cause persons to make necessary policy and legislative changes, depending on what you do. It can also create public outrage, which can lead to this. So therefore, it's important that as you move forward and you think about statistics, you think about your protocol and so on, that you individually think about what could be some of your responsibilities. So, as I said, we're all part of this vital fight. It's not just social development or health or the stakeholders who are listed in the protocol, but all of us have a responsibility to ensure that our children are protected and that they know, like I said, that they're safe, and that regardless of who they are, where they're from, that they know that they can be safe and that they're persons who they can trust to keep them safe.
And Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Social Development, Carolyn Stout Igwe, says the BVI has made a major accomplishment in its efforts to protect the rights of children and ensure compliance with the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child.
First, I'll say based on the Bridgetown Declaration, we have 4 broad areas which I think also can cover from the week. We have the legal, policy, and regulatory systems and institutional reform, societal and behavioral change, and gender and sexual abuse. Basically, we have some areas in the area of law reform in terms of amendments that might need to be made to some of our legislation that we think might be gender biased in some areas. In terms of societal and behavioral change, we need to continue a public awareness campaign so that we can get the message out, more people can become aware in terms of mandated reporters as well as the different types of child abuse and all the implications.
In terms of responsibility on the part of all stakeholders, the media, parents, folks involved in the education sector, law, what have you observed? What do you think is required to ensure that the rights of children are protected?
I think it's a matter of us collaboration, I would say, more than anything else. That we have a number of persons among the different agencies who work very well together, and it's for us to continue to work together, as well as to ensure that once the message goes out to different stakeholders, that everybody adheres to what is being set forth by the ministry and our social development department.
And in terms of cooperation and the flow of information, are you satisfied that you can see this being improved?
Yes, I will say so, because even from in the protocol, trying to get a protocol finalized, we've had different stakeholder meetings. The DPP to help us ensure that everything was correct legally, met with us, assist us with finalizing, and the other agencies have been cooperating. In the event that we discover there is some challenge, I think for the most part, agencies have been able to speak to each other, make the necessary amendments so that we can continue to work in the best interest of children at all times.
And where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Continued education, public awareness, and making the necessary legislative amendments, recommending for cabinet to approve in cases, as well as I shared with some of the stakeholders earlier in the week, we had a study of all our legislation done by UNICEF last year that shows us as a territory whether or not we are compliant with the rights of the child, the UN Convention, and we received that report last week. So UNICEF will be organizing a meeting very soon so that they can discuss the report and then we can chart the way forward.
The protocol for the prevention, reporting, investigation, and management of child abuse and neglect seeks to ensure a unified and consistent approach to protect children and defines the respective roles and responsibilities of each of the key agencies. The signatories to the BVI protocol are the Ministry of Health and Social Development, the Ministry of Education and Culture, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the Police.